What's going on, guys? My name is Eldenero and welcome to what I think is episode 114 of my FIFA 15 career mode, where we are now with Manchester United. And seeing as Cardiff City recently announced that they're going back to their blue strip, I decided to make their away kit their home kit as we visit their ground. And we go and win with our red jersey in that case as well, so we can wear our home kit too. But the Cardiff City lineup is pretty good. They're a very strange team, Cardiff, because at times they're incredibly difficult to break down and play against because they pass it so fast. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure the first hat-trick of this entire series came against Cardiff City, and I'm pretty sure it was Wilfried Zaha. But I don't know, there's always somebody in the comment section that knows more about this career mode than I do, so if anyone wants to confirm whether or not I'm correct with that, that would be pretty good. But yeah, so we're starting off. This is an FA Cup game as well. I should have actually mentioned that it's in the FA Cup, and we're doing quite well in this. No, we're not doing well in the tournament at all. I think we've had 2 replays so far in our first 2 ties, so we're hoping to avoid that situation happening again at the start of this one. But I have a question for you guys at the start of this episode, and it is, what country do you guys think I should manage in next? Not for a new career mode, but for the continuation of this one. Which country would be the ideal place to go to? As you see, Camilo scoring the first goal of the game as it goes in. If it sounded like my voice broke just there, that's not what happened. I have like no air left in my lungs and it was really hard for me to talk. But the goal went in off the goalkeeper, and it was really annoying because you'd expect David De Gea to actually have that, and then that combined with the cuntiest celebration of all time in the game, that stupid dancing bullshit thing, that was a lot for me to take. But we did actually come forward just 1 minute later with Bigir Mana on the ball as he takes on some of the Cardiff players, 2 of which trail after him, and he plays into Javier Hernandez, who does a step over to get round Jake Livermore and then bundles it into the corner of the net to equalise for us, which was pretty nice. But yeah, so a lot of the times when I'm like, which club should I go to next, people say stuff like, oh, go to this club or this club or this club. Like, it's not, I don't get to choose which club I'm going to go to, you know. You have to go with the options that are available. At the moment, all that's available is Tottenham, Augsburg and Monaco, and that's it. Like, there are no other clubs, and those are the only ones that have been available for about 3 in-game months, 2 or 3 months. So I'm going to obviously stay at Man United until up into next season. I'm not sure whereabouts we're going to leave it, but it will kind of depend on how well we do this season as well, I think, as you see Zardes scoring for Cardiff City in the 44th minute to make it 2-1 to them and put them back in the lead, which is quite worrying for us. But yeah, pretty much just let me know what country ideally you'd like me to go to next, because we've had the entirety of this series in England, and it would be pretty good to go to another country. I personally, I want Real Madrid or Barcelona. Those are the clubs I want to manage, but I don't expect those opportunities to be presented given how rare they are, and they never really do come up. But if they do, I'm definitely going to go for them. That's just a kind of a warning. But other than that, I'm interested to see what people think. Cardiff City hit the post in the 49th minute, which was again worrying. The way that they played, the way they passed the ball was insane. And it's just a sort of a symptom of the fact that this game only has one game engine. It only has one way of playing for the opposition, and it's always tiki-taka football. But in the 55th minute, they came forward again. We managed to break free with Rojo playing the ball into Lingard, who finds Hernandez in an advanced position. He plays it into Dybala, who's going to take a run at the defence because he is pretty good with the dribbling, albeit he's a player who hasn't advanced at all. But Jeffrey Schlupp, look at that for a goal. I couldn't believe it went in. It felt like it was definitely going to go wide because of the way the goalkeeper was watching it. And I've never seen a goalkeeper be such a statue of a figure in goal. Like, it's mental that he just stood there and watched it go in. And then afterwards was like, oh. But we come up just past the hour mark, and Zardes' shot gets saved by De Gea. The clearance was terrible as it comes to Livermore, and then Camilo had a shot, and then Livermore hits the header over the bar. So we do manage to hold on in the game, and we enter the final 10 minutes with Lingard playing the ball into Javier Hernandez as we came on the attack, trying to prevent this from going to yet another replay. And Hernandez's strike was saved by the goalkeeper and eventually cleared by the Cardiff City defence. But we come into stoppage time at the end of the game with Dybala just playing the ball out to Lingard. He did really well to get that touch on it as well, and Lingard does really well to run at the defence, and then he treads the ball into Dybala, who once again gifts us a last-minute winner in a really important game to make it 3-2 as well, just like he did in the last episode. But that was an incredible moment, one of many incredible last-minute winners that we have had in this series overall. I really hope you guys understand just the relief that you feel when you do something like that. But we come out of that game with the victory. We advance in the FA Cup, where we're going to play Everton next, and we're going to take on Wolfsburg in this game, which is in the Champions League. Obviously a place in the quarterfinals up for grabs. This is just the first leg. Leicester City made it out of their group too. They're playing against Atletico Madrid. This tie is at Old Trafford, so while a couple of goals would be decent for us, like, I'm never really fussed. Like, my main thing about being at home is just not conceding an away goal. And Wolfsburg line up with Junior Malanda in midfield. Obviously he tragically passed away in real life last weekend, so I didn't really know how to... it's kind of weird, even though it's just a video game and it's not an actual representation of real life at all in any ways. It's pretty sad to know that at least the video game makers had foreseen his potential to be good enough to be in the Wolfsburg team playing in the Champions League 5 years from now. But that, like, I don't know, it's weird. It's a strange feeling, I suppose, when someone's kind of immortalized in a video game in that way. But in the 20th minute, we came forward in this game with Villalba on the ball. His shot hit off the post and was cleared away, although it never really looked as though it was going to go in. It was kind of a ridiculous shot in the first place to even attempt to score from there. But Wolfsburg came forward 4 minutes later with Cagliari playing the ball in towards Perisic at the far post. He finds Luis Gustavo, who on the turn goes for the curling shot, which could have crept into that top corner, and it would have been an amazing goal had it done so. We come to the half-hour mark. Wayne Rooney is on the ball. He's taking on Naldo in defence, who must be at least 47 years old at this point, but Rooney's shot is dragged just wide, unfortunately. But we came forward again 4 minutes later with Chalobah on the ball. He finds Hector Villalba in a decent position to take on Naldo. He runs at the defence and goes for the strike from distance, but it's saved by the keeper. By the way, yeah, Hector Villalba is back from injury, so that's huge, absolutely huge, because he has been such a crucial figure in this series for the last 2 or 3 seasons. So it's really, really good to have him back, although he's not really in top form at the moment, because he came on against Cardiff. Obviously he barely even touched the ball in that game because well, they passed it so much that there were no substitution opportunities, so it wasn't really possible for him to even enter the pitch the way that he did. But we come up to the hour mark of the game with Timo Huppertz on the ball, and he treads it, or he doesn't, he goes forward. He's an amazing dribbler of the ball, and his shot from distance goes just wide of the post. I was really sure it was going to go in for some reason, but I always get that sort of magic feeling whenever he's running on the ball. That reminds me of, like, I don't know, who's a player who... Wilfried Zaha, that type of thing. But Zaha became very good in this series. We come up to the 87th minute of the game with Jeffrey Schlupp playing it into Wayne Rooney. He finds Villalba in a great position, but Villalba's shot was put wide, which was a shame. I really thought it was going to go in too. But the game ends in a 0-0 draw, which doesn't really happen too often, but we've had about 3 or 4 of them this season. I don't think we had that many with Leicester at all, apart from the first season when we first moved up to legendary difficulty. But we do find that Nathaniel Chalobah is going to be out for 4 weeks, having suffered an injury in that game against Wolfsburg, which is a shame. But we come up against Arsenal next. This is in the league, and this is kind of a grudge match in a way, because we played them on the first day of the season. We beat them 1-0 thanks to a Chris Smalling header. Then we played them in the FA Cup, and they beat us thanks to a last-minute winner, or sorry, it was the Capital One Cup, a last-minute winner in stoppage time scored by Edin Dzeko. It's good to see how different their team is looking at the moment, though. Well, fair enough, it's not really different at all. There's only like 3 new players in there, Jedvaj, Schneiderlin and Rodrigo. But it's good to see Zelalem and players like that, because I don't know, the AI on this game, like, they have a 39-year-old Thomas Rosicky in their team at the moment, Arsenal do, and it's mental. But yeah, I wanted to get one over on Arsenal because of the fact that we did beat them on the opening day, keeping a clean sheet in doing so, and they beat us in the Capital One Cup. But also the fact that they are, what, 3 points below us in the league, meaning a victory for them would make us level, and we were running away with the league at one point in the season, so it would be incredibly disappointing to have thrown that away up to this point, because our form has been fairly solid outside the Champions League. But Arsenal were putting on the pressure throughout this game. We come up to the 54th minute with Rodrigo and Cazorla combining really well. Cazorla, who must be about 35 as well. The ball comes into Rodrigo. His strike saved by De Gea. It comes out to Miyaichi, who heads it into Schneiderlin. And with an open goal, he finesses it over the bar with his left foot in what is literally the worst miss I have ever seen on FIFA. Like, if I did that, I would throw my PlayStation out the window. But Javier Hernandez punishes him for it just 10 minutes later as we come forward and manage managed to get the most unlikely goal completely against the run of play and pretty much rob Arsenal blind. They did not deserve that, but they came forward immediately after and they were mad. And Santi Cazorla on the ball, he plays it into Edin Dzeko, who came on as a substitute. The Bosnians' cross was one of the, it was to crossing what Schneiderlin's shot was to shooting, but Schürrle plays this incredible ball into Javier Hernandez on the run, who gets in ahead of Tinjedvaj, and he manages to finish to make it 2-0. And within the space of 5 minutes, we completely turned this game on its head in the most unfair manner I've ever seen. Like, just in the name of what's a fair game and what isn't. Arsenal did not deserve this. They were without a doubt the better team, and Alexis Sanchez, who came on as a substitute as well, was really angry about the entire situation, but not angry enough to put that shot into the back of the net as De Gea clutches it. We end that game with a 2-0 victory at the Emirates Stadium, and I still have no idea how I did it. Like, it was one of those FIFA games where it was FIFA bullshit and it wasn't fair at all, but I was the one who got it good. So what are you going to do? That's the way that game ended. I'm pretty happy with it. We push ourselves 6 points clear of Arsenal at the top, and our dominance in the league looks as though it's something that's going to continue. So that's the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like on the video. I've been El Dinero. Thanks for watching.